The WWE 2K series is back. After the disaster that was WWE 2K20 and the confusing mess that was Battlegrounds, 2K has returned with a proper entry to the WWE2K franchise. Have they managed to turn it around? Is the game actually worth playing now? Will this be the game to save their contract over the rumors of moving the license to EA? Not to spoil too much of the review, but yes, I really think this is the 2K redemption story we all wanted, and hopefully just the beginning of it.
He's been demanding this match for quite some time, and now he is ready to compete.
WWE 2K22 feels like a game made by people who actually get what it takes to make not only a good wrestling game, but a good game in general. From the opening tutorial that gives you a chance to try out the new controls and interface, narrated and presented to you by a live-action Drew Gulak, you feel like you are in the right hands of a team who really get the fans. Which is something that if you were following the pre-launch previews like I was, you saw in the team's interactions. While a bit cringy at times, there is a clear love for not only what they are doing, but what they are working with.
One of the all-time greats has seen and done everything there is to do in this business. His opponent, representing RK-Bro.
The game always looked good, barring a few disturbing-looking models. But the time off and a new engine has really done wonders for the look of this game. All the footage captured for this review were done so on a PlayStation 5, and this looks all the better for it. I won't say that anything here could be mistaken for the real thing, but sometimes those face scans can get pretty damn uncanny. As well, the animations, the arenas, the sounds, and even the commentators have all been given a massive overhaul. Maybe it was the break from this type of formula, but everything here feels brand new and like something you have never played before. Now the real test will have to be 2K making it seem like this every time a new entry comes out. But I think 2K22 has proven that this does not need to be a yearly series, and that it is possible for them to innovate and to make better with every iteration.
Wrestle perhaps the perfect match. Never any doubt in this win. That's why they call it light work, Cole. Barely even broke a sweat.
Speaking of new, there are a ton of new and revamped features in this game. Some good and not so good. A familiar game mode is Showcase, which takes you through the careers and memorable moments of different wrestlers. This time, we focus on the rise of the cover star of the game, Rey Mysterio, from his time in WCW to teaming with his son in the Thunderdome. This time around, along with the different goals and actions you will need to perform in each match, you will cut back to actual footage of the real match you are recreating. Which sounds like a cool idea, and it is at times, except that because of the nature of the footage, and I assume the nightmare to clear certain things, you will find, especially in the very first match at Halloween Havoc, a lot of things blurred. The refs' faces are always blurred, the Slim Jim ads are blurred, even some fans are blurred if they get too close. And let's not even mention the pettiness of blurring out merch of a certain punkish former WWE star. While this can be a bit annoying, it's mostly a nitpick that I can understand for legal reasons. It's not something I feel is done out of laziness, although I will say just having all the action done in the in-game models could have been a bit more smooth. The next biggest upgrade is the career mode, now called My Rise. In this mode, you take control of a robust character creation suite to create your own WWE wrestler, both male and new for this time around, female. You can not only choose your wrestling style, but you can also choose your background before getting to the WWE. Do you want to be an indie guy, a former MMA fighter, an athlete, or even a former actor? All options will not only change how the commentators react to you, but it will also change certain directions of certain stories and how different wrestlers and NPCs you meet along the way will interact to you, which is an excellent and unique touch.
A former indie competitor, he left Houston a new athlete and set course full steam ahead for WWE.
This time, the career mode is even easier to get into. No searching for storylines or challenges or competing in endless filler matches to get anything started. You can find a storyline anywhere. From social media, your DMs, or just in a random bar, you'll find different opportunities for titles, tournaments, and tag partners. But just like anything in the WWE, if you're not careful, you'll lose all of them just as easy as you got them.
Yeah, Randy Orton thought this was his golden opportunity to capture the one accolade that's evaded him throughout his career, but it just wasn't his night. Without a doubt, this is a career-defining moment for this superstar.
My Rise also gives you your own unique rivals and allies, which change from male to female. And if you find a wrestler to talk to in person, they will likely be fully voiced by the wrestler themselves.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we think this is an absolutely perfect fit for you.
Just remember, this isn't an ending. It's the beginning of the next chapter of training.
The best thing about the mode is the amount of choice you get, even in the matches you wrestle. You don't have to win every match. Some matches will progress the story differently depending on if you win or lose. While playing a heel, I found in some cases it made more sense story-wise for me to lose for the purpose of drama. And that level of detail is appreciated.
Shock! The WWE Universe has stolen the Universal Championship! He didn't steal anything, he just outsmarted everyone in the arena. Well, it certainly looks like Roman Reigns feels like his championship was stolen.
Next is the hotly anticipated return of GM mode. In this mode, you will compete against a rival GM to see who can put on the best show and have the best brand. You can choose between a few GMs like Sonya Deville, Shane McMahon, and Adam Pearce, or you can just make your own. However, after that, the amount of customization stops. You are limited in the brands you can choose, only able to choose between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK for some reason. You can't change the titles that are used on the shows, and there are no secondary or tag belts in play. As well, when first starting out, you start with an arena in a high school gym, which would make more sense if you were to make your own brand, but picking Raw, the biggest wrestling show in America, and having it take place in a high school gym is just weird. I understand the point of it. You're meant to build up your brand from a little gym to packed arenas. And of course, the announcers need to be able to say a recognized brand in pay-per-view names. But there still seems like there should have been some kind of compromise.
And his opponent from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 182 pounds, Mustafa Ali!
Anyway, the GM mode is about budgeting wisely to put on the best show with wrestlers, match types, and gimmicks that will draw the most money, viewers, and ratings. Of course, if you're someone like me who wants to just make it all about your favorite wrestlers on the mid or bottom of the tier list, you'll be in for an uphill climb. But that will just make victory more sweet when you make Mace the star he was always meant to be. But if you need a little bit more freedom and customization, there is the return of Universe mode, where you can use your own titles, shows, pay-per-views, and rosters. You can even use the new Superstar mode and follow a single wrestler on their journey to glory.
The Superstar picks up a huge victory here tonight. Much deserved, Michael.
Now, while this game does have its improvements, it's not without its faults. While playing the game, I still encountered a few glitches and even some crashes. Not a huge percent, but enough that it was noticeable. Hopefully this will be addressed in future patches, but it's nowhere near the level that we experienced in previous games. Another huge negative is the inclusion of the My Faction mode, which is just a standard gacha game where you can buy packs with cards to build a faction of wrestlers that compete against other players. Of course, using real-world money to buy cards. It's not a necessary game mechanic by any means, but as with any time a system like this is implemented, it is disappointing. WWE2K22 is a huge step in the right direction, and I hope that 2K will take what they've learned in this iteration and follow it with all future games. The biggest hope is that this is no longer a yearly game, so they can have the time they need. And with the DLC lists already revealed, I can already tell that this is going to be a game that I'm going to be playing for a long time to come. I'm happy to give WWE2K22 a 4 out of 5.